Hi, today is Friday, May 9th, and it's cold and it's been raining for the past few days. I think today it's like 5 or 6 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow it's gonna be again cold and it's gonna rain all day. So I can't ride today, I can't ride tomorrow because I don't like the cold and I don't like riding under the rain. But I'm gonna be riding soon on Sunday. Probably, I don't know, it depends. It's gonna be sunny, it's supposed to be, but it's gonna be cold. But definitely on Monday things will warm up, and I got those heavy duty binders right now from my trucking days, and I'm preparing my bike because on Monday I'm gonna pick up my Dunlop Trail Max Mission tires that I ordered. My bike is not ready yet to get those installed because my Shinko 705 are still good to go. I expect to be able to do another 2-3 thousand kilometers with my Shinkos. So I'm gonna pick up my tires, my Dunlop tires, and we'll see when I'm ready to get them installed. Now, you may be wondering why the title Back to the Future 5. Well, stick around and you'll find out very shortly. Alright, so I'm actually right now sitting at a rest area off Highway 20, just a few kilometers east of a city where it all started for me. Now, when I say where it all started, I mean my motorcycle life as a new rider. I just started a year ago. That's right. Just 11 months ago, I was taking, well, actually 12 months ago, I was taking my basic motorcycle course, May of last year. And on June 12th, I was passing my slow speed maneuver exam with the SAQ, which is where I'm going right now. The SAQ is the equivalent of the DOT if you live in the United States. So if you've seen my previous two videos, the one that I rode, the first ride of the year, the season, and my off-road adventure, off-road so to speak, ride of 2025, probably you can't tell that I'm a newbie, but I am. Maybe because I've got about 10,000 kilometers of experience already since I got my temporary license last June. I've been riding a lot and I'm gonna keep riding a lot, but also I kind of learned quickly how to ride a motorcycle. It wasn't very difficult for me. It was scary at first, but I learned very quickly how to ride. Probably in part because I rode a motocross bike when I was a kid. Not much, but enough to understand certain things and to be comfortable on a bike. So this is the river, the St. Lawrence River on the left. Now I choose the SAQ to start with because the office is right off the highway as we take the exit just down here. After that, I'm gonna be riding to the motorcycle school that I went to last year, and I'm gonna show you the course, the things that I had to learn. But first off will be the SAQ, and I'm gonna show you the course and the maneuvers that I had to do for my exam in order to pass. There are 7 maneuvers that you have to do, and I'm gonna actually do those a couple times. I expect to be coming back to this city quite a few times in the following weeks because here in Quebec, the way it is, after we take the basic motorcycle course, we have to do the slow speed exam with the SAQ. And after that, we have to wait a minimum of 11 months before we can actually take the road test. And my road test right now is scheduled for June 5th, which is about 4 weeks from now. I'm a little bit anxious. I'm not scared or anything, I'm just a little bit anxious because I don't really know how it's gonna go, but apparently it's the easiest of all 3 tests that we have to do. The knowledge test was the most difficult. Apparently 50% of people they fell on their first attempt, thankfully I did not fail. I passed on my first try. And the slow speed exam, I had only one mistake, so I passed. I had to have 80%, and I think I passed with 98% or 96, can't recall. So this is the course, and I'm gonna go through the course with my bike just to look at the dots, because there are no cones here, and this is how it is when we actually come. And before we actually ride the course with the bike, we actually walk the course with an instructor from the SAAQ, and he explains everything that we need to know. As you can see, there are painted dots on the ground, some yellow, some white, and a few blue, and I will explain what they are in due time. But just as a refresher, I'm just riding through the box just to see that nothing has changed, and kind of trying to remember all the maneuvers I have to do in order, because there are 7 of them and I'm gonna do them twice. Now, when you enter the box on your exam, you stop here at the gate, and the first maneuver you have to do is moving forward, shifting in second gear, and then downshifting in first and stopping. You have to go through those dots here and come to a complete stop at the yellow gate here. You look left, right, and left. You turn left. It's like making a U-turn. And this second maneuver is the slalom. You have to do the slalom in 6.5 seconds, if I recall. And basically, this maneuver is to see if you can actually do counterweight on your bike. You come back to the first gate. You can never touch the ground with your right foot. Now I'm gonna put up a picture and show you what it is. It's a very slow speed between the blue dots. There's a timer where it starts, where it ends, and you have to do it in, I believe, 5.5 seconds. You can do it in 8 seconds, 10 seconds, 12 seconds, but the goal is 5.5. So you see the blue dots, you slow down, and then you go as slow as possible, never touching the ground, never stopping, and then you exit through the gate, make a tight U-turn, and stop at the gate right here. My first mistake was right here. I did lose a little bit my balance and put the right foot down, but for half a second. Now this maneuver, the next maneuver, is the curve in second gear. And actually I messed up because there is a gate at the bottom and I missed it. I totally forgot about it. So again, like there's a gate I'm gonna go through later on. There's a gate here. Now the speed does not matter. Technically it's good to reach 20 kilometers an hour, but there is a timer and it's 6.5 seconds. So if you do it in 6.5 or less, you pass. Here you stop and it's a right turn. No need to put the turn signal, they just want us to see that you can actually turn without touching those dots on the ground. And then you just ride to the next gate. And because it's a very tight turn here, the gate is very close to the edge of the box, you're allowed to pass the gate and then back up slowly, because this will be the emergency maneuvers. You got 3 of them. Emergency swerving, I'm going to show you with a picture again. There you go. So you got the blue dots at the bottom and you got a blue dots at the top. You have to go either to the right or the left and go between the white dots on the ground. And you have to reach 20 kilometers an hour minimum. I think I did it at 24 kilometers an hour, so that was just fine. And then you just go back, because once you've done it on one side, you have to do it on the other side as well. Now the thing is, with the emergency swerving, what they want to see is that you're actually trying to avoid an obstacle What they don't want to see is that you're just turning the bike and do counter steering. That's not what they want to see. So you cannot be smooth and just turn the bike. You have to really show that you're avoiding an obstacle. They don't have a radar gun. Just by experience, they kind of know what speed you're riding at. Now, I did it in second gear, I believe. Right now, I do ride at second gear, but they don't ask for that. As long as you reach 20 kilometers an hour and you do your emergency swerving, it doesn't matter if you are doing it in first or second gear. It's easier to do it in first. And the last one is emergency braking. Again, you go, it's 20, and slam the brakes before those red dots, blue dots. Sorry. Now I was doing 28, a little too fast. I managed to stop just a few inches before those dots, which is fine. I would have passed, but they don't want to see record-breaking maneuvers. Basically, they just want to see that you know how to stop, how to do an emergency braking. So if you do reach 22 kilometers an hour, that's just good enough for them. On my second attempt, that's what I focused on, 22 kilometers an hour, because when I did my exam, that's what my instructor from the school told me to do. Focus on reaching 22 and then don't give any more fuel, just keep it there and do the maneuvers. Now again, first gear, second gear, downshift, complete stop. Each time you stop, before you go again, it's good to do always a left, right and left. You look on both sides, just like in real life, that's what they want to see. You come back and you stop here, and it's going to be again the very slow speed maneuver with a timer. I did check and I did it in 5.7 seconds because I entered the gate a little too fast. But if it would have been an exam, I would have passed it. Again, tight U-turn and you come to a complete stop and you do your curve in second gear. Now this time I did remember there was a gate at the bottom, so I'm gonna go through it. The timer starts here, you go through the gate, you go through the next gate, and the timer ends there. And then you don't forget to downshift in first when you reach the gate here, because this will be the right turn. Now, as a trick, I didn't do it. It was very close to the dots, but the best is to stop the bike 2 feet behind the yellow dots on the ground. That's a trick that I took from my instructor when I went to that school, which helps making the right turn a little easier. Now my emergency swerving. I think I did it in second gear. I don't know. I don't recall. During my exam, I know I did in first gear. I didn't want to take any chance because it did happen to somebody that he did it in second gear. He came back here at the gate and he totally forgot to downshift. So he ended up having to put his right foot down in order to downshift in first. And by putting the right foot down, you lose some points. So it's always good to stay in first gear. That way you're sure that you don't lose any points. But for me, it's kind of normal now to downshift in first before stopping. So that's why I did it in second gear. And my emergency braking. This time I did focus on 22 kilometers an hour. There was no need to go at 28. That way I was able to stop way before the blue dots. Now, one thing that they don't want to see is that anticipation. They don't want to see that you anticipate the emergency braking, so you cannot slow down before the blue dots, the first set of blue dots. You gotta really pass them, and then you just stop. Alright, now I'm gonna be taking you to the motorcycle school. To make the video quicker, I'm not gonna record all my riding through the city. It's kind of pointless. There you go. So the motorcycle school is right up here on the left. I wasn't sure if the gate was going to be open. I'm glad that it was. Eventually they're gonna remove those RVs because I know that during winter time the school uses the parking to rent for U-Haul trucks and some RVs and stuff like that, some trailers. But I don't know if the school started yet. Now I see those cones on the left. They're not supposed to be there. The course is not exactly as I recall. This is where they store the bikes. So what I'm gonna do is go through the course, just like I did at the SAQ. I'm gonna go through twice. So the course starts here. Basically, when you start the school, you learn to just move forward and stop at the middle cones, and move forward and stop. But later on, you learn to actually do a lane change. So you look in the mirror, you look behind, you put your turn signal, and as soon as you pass the gate, then you can do your lane change, and you downshift and you come back. You come to a complete stop. Now this is to teach you to make a U-turn within the small box, and you come to a complete stop right here. Now when I took my motorcycle course, those cones in front of me, they were not there. They were set apart in a different manner, pretty much like the SAQ, in order to teach counterweight. So I did I'm doing right now the slalom, but basically I have no idea why it's set up like that. Complete stop, and you go through the small gate up there, and you choose a lane, and this is the actual slalom. Now I recall that this was like that. When you first start, the first few lessons, you do it in first gear. You learn to do the slalom in first gear, and this here is for the very slow speed maneuver, because they teach you what you must do actually at the actual exam. Except this part. This part is actually the toughest part for me. You have to go around in circle twice, and it's not something that you practice in real life. You don't do something like that. So I have a hard time with that because I don't kind of practice this in real life. There's no need. I know how to do my counterweight, so going in circles is kind of pointless. So I never practice this parking lot drill, which is why I find it a little difficult. I take it way too wide. I think I'm gonna do better next time. And here I absolutely don't know why the cones are set up like that. So I just kind of slow down and look, trying to figure out what the heck was going on here. I just know that at the end of my motorcycle course, I had to do emergency swerving at that location, and shifting in second and downshifting in first, complete stop here. Now this was like that last year, and it's for the figure eight. So you have to do the figure eight basically twice, going one way and then the other way. As a new rider, this was probably the toughest parking lot drill for all students, me included. The circle I didn't like But actually, on my first attempt at the figure eight, I did drop the bike. Shame on me, but it happens. Now I'm pointing at the cones over there. I decided to do emergency swerving because that's what it was. Even though the cones are not set for that, that's what I'm gonna be doing. So, and now I'm doing it the way I learned. First gear, stay in first gear, look mirror, look back, turn signal, mirror, look back, lane change, remove the turn signal, downshift, complete stop. Now the U-turn is a little easier because I took the wide lane, the exterior lane I should say. And again, I'm gonna just do the slalom because that's what the cones are for anyway. It's probably for the slalom in first gear and then the slalom in second gear. That's my guess, but I don't know. They were not set up like that last year. Maybe there's a new instructor who knows. Go through the gate and come to a complete stop. Again, you can choose whichever lane you want, but the thing is you do the slalom in second gear this time. And the point is not the speed, but to teach you to be able to downshift in first gear and go very slow right here. To do a very slow speed maneuver. And then you enter the circle and you do that circle. At the end of the course, you have to do it in second gear, which is not something that I enjoy doing, and I'm not doing it here. Like I said, I find it kind of pointless now. I know how to do counterweight. And in real life, when you do counterweight, you avoid an obstacle. You don't go in circles 20 times around something, you know. If there's a hole in the ground, if there's a cone, construction cone, if there is anything really, you go around. Like at the fuel pumps in real life, gas station, you go around fuel pumps. You don't go 20 times around the same fuel pump, right? So there's no point in going in circles 20 times. Here, vroom, and vroom. Second gear, downshift in first gear, and complete stop. And figure eight once again. The girl also dropped her bike right here in the middle as I was entering the figure eight, so that's probably why I did drop my bike. I was looking at her and I stopped and I touched my front brake and the bike went down. Because when your handlebar is not straight, you cannot touch your front brake. If you touch your front brake, the bike leans down and down you go. But when you're a beginner rider, it's not something that you think about. So this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to hear your thoughts. What kind of drill gave you a hard time when you did learn how to ride a motorcycle? Did you ever drop your bike during training? Did you enjoy doing your basic motorcycle school? Let me know in the comments. Until then, take care of yourself and stay safe out there, and I'll see you some other time. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.